later down the line, I ended up coming across the actual concept of Web3 and NFT gaming and just NFTs in general. Started doing my research, and one of my homies was like, "Yo, I found this cool game. It looks like Funko Pops. It's called Blankos." And I'm like, "That's an NFT game?" Like, yeah. I was like, "Well, I have that game, and I have like a shit ton of skins I bought when it first came out." And I went back, and all of the skins had like mooned all of the assets. So that kind of like hooked me in, and ever since then I've been doing stuff. And that was like probably the end of 2020, beginning of 2021. So I've been around the space for a little bit now. Around that time, I kind of started focusing more on streaming, and but also streaming a variety of Web 2 and Web 3 games, and kind of started creating content around Web 3, and just noticed like things started picking up for me. So I kind of went hard on it, and it's kind of like how I got here.
Yeah, facts. Now we're gonna talk about it in terms of like the niche and really the lack of saturation of creators at a certain point in Web3, and kind of I feel like it's gearing up now. There's a lot more faces cropping up. People are seeing
Oh,
the
for sure.
opportunity that's here. So we're gonna definitely have a deeper convo on that. But I appreciate that, man. I like to hear the origin stories and where it comes from. By the way, Blanco's block party, bro, like was hugely slept on. Was hugely slept on. That shit was actually fun. It was a
Yeah, it
yeah,
sucks because when you're pioneering the space, usually everybody can learn from your mistakes, and then you end up getting the shit end of the stick. And I feel like that's kind of what happened to Blancos. They didn't really have anything to go off of as far as like what has already happened, and they were the case study for everyone else.
yeah.
And I
No,
feel
that's
like that was one of the big reasons. But
yeah, bro. All right, we're gonna talk. We might touch on Blancos as well in a little bit as well. But let's move on to some of our other guests. We got look, and this one I actually fuck with Inhuman a lot. We talk off the record a lot, like in DMs and stuff like that. But I don't know Inhuman's origin story either. So, bro, if you want to come up here and give us a little rundown on how the fuck did you get here, brother?
Yo, can you guys hear me?
Yeah, bro, what's good?
I had some PC issues before. I want to make sure. I mean, I've been around Web3 for a really long time, but foremost, I'm a gamer. You know, like I competed in 2 different BR titles, a lot of Web2 stuff. My first mint was actually Either Orcs, like that was about like 2.5 years ago. So I've been around pretty much every project and like interested in mainly the gaming aspect of everything.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, like,
Competitive player.
yeah, very competitive.
Right then. So, and this is another little rabbit hole we'll go down in the convo. But like Web 3 for you, is it like an attractive environment because of the like the similarities for like an earning potential as a profession, like with regards to how professionals earn money from playing video games?
Honestly, my favorite part about Web3 is not even the competitive aspect of it, or like, I don't think we'll see esports in Web3 for probably at least another 3-4 years at like a
Yeah.
mature level. But like MMORPGs and stuff like that has so much potential in this space, and that's what I'm here for. I'm a big MMORPG fan. I love the idea that I could, or even like FPS games, if they're not esports, being able to buy a skin and trade it to people and like own the skin.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I go to
facts.
Valorant, I
that
buy a hundred
part,
dollar bundle. I don't own it, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. They be shitting
that
on us
part.
though, for real. These companies be shitting on us. You know what's crazy? The other day, well, not the other day, it was a few weeks ago, right before Christmas. I was around my friend's house, and his younger nephew was like, he loves fucking, like, obviously every kid nowadays loves Fortnite, right? But he was basically betting us. We were playing beer pong, right? And he said, I'm gonna throw this ball behind my head, and if I make one of these cups, you got, like, not me, my friend, you gotta buy me V-Bucks, right? My friend agrees to it because he thinks this little shit ain't doing that. Like, he ain't hitting that, right? Lo and behold, sometimes life is beautiful. He throws that ball, it lands perfectly, splash in the cup, like no rim, no nothing, just straight in the cup. So my friend has to buy him V-Bucks, and we were purchasing the V-Bucks, watching him do it. And I actually stopped him when he was purchasing a skin, and I wanted to read the terms and conditions. And like in a nutshell, because we won't go into it in depth, but in a nutshell, that shit basically said you're about to buy something that you don't own and we own it, but you're gonna give us the money for it anyway. And that is like in a nutshell Web2 gaming right now, in terms of like digital ownership. So it's kind of bizarre. And I was talking to his father about what I do for work and stuff, and he didn't get it. But then once we read that contract out, he was like, "Wait, that's fucking stupid." So I feel like that's a huge narrative that creators can push, and especially guys coming from Web2 environments, like that's such a strong conversation point for us to be pushing as creators, that I think we can definitely lean into that one more. You hear it a lot, but I don't think we hear it enough nowadays. I think when we go too techie, too blockchain, too fucking Web3, like people just get disinterested, and then they lose a lot of that drive to want to be a part of it. When I don't know, sometimes in math I was like, I don't know what this algebra is saying to me, so I'm switching my brain off now. Okay. So I feel like that's kind of a lot of the takes we get from the Web2 era. But now, so it's nice to hear that from you, Inhuman, and the roots in which you've come into this scene. Again, we're going to dig deeper on all of these conversations. I'm going to pass it over to Luke and let him come up here and introduce himself as well. I actually did a space with Luke last week. A fellow UK man out here. I love it. You got to represent, bro. But yo, welcome to the space, brother. I'm sure some Ronins will know of you because of that amazing thread that you did last week. But yeah, quick rundown on yourself and how you found yourself in this space.
Yeah, thanks, man. Good to be here. Interesting panel as well. Nice to meet you all. Nice to see everyone listening and stuff. Yes, my name's Luke. So my background's a bit different in that I've been in entertainment for about 15 years, but I started out as a TV and radio presenter, like in kind of legacy TV land. So I did a lot for the BBC, and then moved into kind of online content stuff as all of that attention sort of shifted from TV to online, and worked with a lot of brands, Disney and Meta and Facebook and Amazon and whoever else, which was cool. And then did a lot of kind of short form video, and have been playing games throughout the whole time, obviously. Then had a kind of crypto journey in like 2017, just quietly, like I was just learning and buying stuff. And then more recently, I've then got in hard with the Web3 gaming content, which I watched closely the last cycle, and obviously fascinating. But yeah, those worlds have obviously kind of collided, and I like just being able to watch where the attention is moving, and yeah, that's kind of where everything flows. So it's a really exciting time now to be doing this stuff and putting out content. It's fun. It's that buzzy early stage where you kind of know something's coming. That it's genuinely fun. Not everyone's sort of cottoned onto yet. So yeah. Also, you were saying you lost your wallet. I deliberately don't have a wallet because I lost it so many times. I just carried like one card around, and then
that's actually me right now, bro. No, I can shit you not. I don't know if it's like an alignment with creators and irresponsibilities, but maybe not. I might be umbrellaing this.
I can't speak for anyone else, but it's the ADD brain as well for me. It's like I'm distracted all the time, and I just forget stuff and just leave things places. So I just learned to just not have it. Is easier. Also, on the Blancos thing, maybe later, up to you, Gilla. But Mythical Games is so interesting, who created Blancos and NFL Rivals as well. Maybe we chat about them at some point. But that spurred my mind. But sorry, yeah.
I am willing to roam. One of the things that at the moment, like Ronin Radio is kind of structured in this way, where Tuesdays we really try and be external, and then Thursdays is a bit more of an insular show. But it's hugely important to me, creating this medium and having the communication that we do with the community, that we are also aware and speaking about and staying in touch with like the rest of the industry as well. So don't feel like we have to just stick with Ronin topics. For sure, we're going to dive into it. Sounds interesting, man, because like I know I enjoyed Blanco's Block Party, and then it kind of just fizzled out, and there's obviously other things that have come around that topic, and yeah, we'll definitely touch on them later on. But yo, Luke, man, big stepper out here, but working with the BBC and everything like that. Bro's out here, bro. I see you, bro.
Yeah, but the funny thing is, as much as I love that, and I've got one foot still in that world a little bit, and it's great. There's loads of great things about it, but like I say, the attention has just moved. Like people who grew up watching those things, it's an older audience. Young people obviously aren't coming through and going to like Channel 1 or whatever in the UK. It's like we all know that.
Yeah, it's like, bro, how are you telling me where to be and when to watch what the fuck I want to watch, bro?
Like, different world now, completely. And gaming is the dominant culture that has been for ages, but it's really kind of becoming obvious now. So yeah, it's such a cool time. It's exciting.
Much, yeah, for sure. But yeah, man, like, yo, if you guys, I see regulars in here, shout out to everyone that's in here, shout out to Trevor, Jonathan, Big shout out to Ryan as well. I see Axie Squad Run and Ghosting. Love you lot. Yeah, you know what it is. Tony Blocks here, which we'll speak with on Thursday as well. I can see Muke in the crowd, legendary creator in the Ronin community too. You guys know that this is a spicy fucking show, right? You know. Sometimes we pull up to Ronin Radio and we are bare bones, bro. And I'm out here paddling with all like doggy paddling like a motherfucker to stay afloat. This is not one of those, right? Yeah, we've fucked up on the hosting thing, but I need your guys' help specifically to go and push this thing around because this is one worth listening to. And let's see how many people we can get to pull up. I'm also going to message Finn, get Finn in here and get some activation from the Ronin account as we are speaking through the show. So let's see what we can do, man. We're at 24 right now, which I tell you right now, bro, I don't like humbleness in check. That ain't it. You know what I'm saying? Double that shit. Double it and pass it to the next person. I don't know what you need to do, but you need to. We need to do something right here. But yeah, that's cool. Nice little brief rundown of our guests today. And I'm excited. Like I said, it's one of those today where we got a lot of different avenues that we can go down. You know, on the agenda, first and foremost, was to find out more about our guests, man, meeting these creators. And we did that on a brief service, but I'm going to steer this conversation back towards King Apollo and really get into the weeds of things and kind of, you know, your story as a creator and more so pushing it towards now, like in the present. You can bring pieces from the past to reason with it, but in the present and looking forward to the future, bro, in Web3, as a content creator, like how much opportunity actually is here?
I mean, at the current moment, it's a lot of opportunity. One of the reasons why I came to the space and kind of stayed around was because of the lack of saturation. And I feel like as a content creator, one, our market is already super saturated, just all around the board with YouTube, TikTok, whatever, right? You name it, it's a million creators on each platform. So it's already super saturated, right? And as I was growing and learning more about content creation and networking and growing as a creator, I realized putting yourself in less saturated markets helps with visibility. And if you create quality content, the visibility helps with growth as well, right? So that's partially one of the reasons why I came over. And I still feel like at the current moment, it's very unsaturated. It's going to get there for sure. We've seen an increase in a lot of coins and tokens, and a lot more games are coming out now. So the opportunity is there, and like always, when people see opportunity, they're gonna seek out, and it'll get saturated at one point, right? But as of current moment, I mean, now is the time to shine. Like 2024, the beginning of this year, if you're not putting out content like every day or 2 to 3 times a week, you're really hurting yourself, because at this time is the time for you to shine and kind of succeed those people that are in the space with you or grow with them, so that when the guys come in that and it does become saturated, you're kind of already sitting at a nice spot in the realm, right?
Step ahead, right? You think a lot of that comes down to like genuine like connection, building community, and gaining the trust of people that are here in this space already, which then like it's almost like a filter down effect, right? Because this whole thing happens through onboarding, and if you have like a collective of people that are in a space already that are arguably going to be the ones that the people who have no experience message to say, wait, what is this stuff? Like for me, that's a huge reason for what I do as a creator. Like I want to actually help people and build relationships that then in turn, when they start to form, you know, relationships with their friends who want to come into this space and really start to take notice, you have that layer of trust instead of it being just like like a battering of just content. And yeah, that content might be helpful, but there's like a disconnect. I don't know if there is, you know, a more successful case on one front of maybe taking a strategic content creation route, or if you're aiming specifically to relationship build with a community.
I'll tell you this, I got to a point I where it was a point where I felt like, I think I've been to all three of those stages that you said, right? I feel like I was at a point where it was too much sponsor content. And at one point it was too much Web3 content. And that's kind of where I got to the whole thing of me being like the Steve Harvey of content and just putting out content across the board. Because ultimately, for creators and for the games, building that line of trust is super important with your community and the people that you're around. Because they like actively seek out us as their like when you go and look at a Walmart book, right? And you're like, oh, this is all of the nice stuff. Like that's where they're going. Like we're the advertisement, right? We're the guys that they're actually actively seeking out and saying, hey, um, what's going on in this segment of the space, right? And if we're not giving out quality information or quality projects, right, and building that line of trust with them, I mean, you could lose it very quickly, right? And I feel like it's the utmost importance, right? A lot of games that I left personally and like sold out of was because they broke that line of trust with me. I'm not going to publicly name them, but it's been a few games that had deadlines for things, and those deadlines require people spending money. And those deadlines were pushed out 2 months after people already spent all their money, and then the prices drop. And it's like, this is the type of things where like building that trust and keeping your word and actually being there for your community is huge. Like it to me is like number one.
Yeah, I hear that. I hear that for real. Yeah, we won't out publicly and stuff like that, but yeah, I can definitely relate to a few situations like that in this space. I mean, Luke, bro, I'm not gonna pin it on you and say like you're the professional here, but I'm wondering from my perspective now, like you're watching the attention kind of come and be drawn to this space. Like your take on how that's kind of evolved. Like, are we in a serious progressive phase right now? And in what ways do you, or what reasons do you think, that is going to continue to happen?
Yeah, so interesting, isn't it? Because if you've sat through a couple of cycles, 2 or 3 cycles in the crypto kind of sphere, like it's all sort of compounds the growth because you have this like, we won't go into like wider financial markets, but stuff tends to run in these kind of 4-year cycles, right? The Bitcoin halving is part of that. And people are just more motivated to do the work and go and research stuff and whatever from an audience point of view, when markets are booming, right? Because there's a monetary motivation. That is just true. That's part of it. Hopefully that volatility and that incentive will kind of quieten down as the like industry gets more developed and more mature and stuff. And as we're starting to see, Pixels is a great example, although still early, of like an economy that actually is functioning really well and incentivizing people to keep any money they might have put into the game in the game because it's fun and they want to progress in the game and all those things. So like we're working all that stuff out. So yeah, but you do see, I mean, like I've been doing a podcast for a while and like my listener chart is basically the Bitcoin chart because people are motivated to learn when money's being made. And then in the bear market, obviously, people get annoyed with it if they're new because then maybe they've lost money or their investment's gone down a bit or whatever. And then in the bear market, you see like the hardening of like the really good people, right? Building stuff, sticking through it, irrelevant of price, irrelevant of all that stuff. And then you come back and you go again, it's more mature and it's better and we've learned things. So yeah, I think it's all like a natural part of that. And yeah, I think you're like totally right, Apollo, saying, especially as a creator, if you're aware of that, then you know that this moment's really quite precious because we are just as the wave is kind of picking up, right? So you can use all that momentum in the right way to really grow yourself and to kind of bring people in and educate them in the right way. But, you don't want to become a slave to, you want to be genuine or at least I do want to do it in the right way so that you have longevity as well. Because if you just start shilling coins and shilling stuff, like, yeah, you'll get some of the attention. And then as the market turns, you'll lose it all type thing. And so I think once you've kind of sat through a few cycles, you sort of, can hopefully sort of step away and see things for what they are. And like, it's a good thing, but we've got a way to go yet. Hope that makes sense. I rambled a bit.
Yeah, no, for sure. I get it. I'm angling more towards on this front of the conversation. I saw a post by Serene earlier in the week. It was pushed by Ronin. It was pushed by Jihoz himself. And one of those things that it really kind of keyed into, which was interesting for me, and I give you guys as speakers for a moment to take a look. It's pinned at the top, and also everyone that's listening here, you can see that tweet. The most interesting thing for me was how it kind of broke down the revenue in the gaming industry at large, and this is obviously taking us well outside of just the Web3 arc. And then also later in the tweet, it breaks down the numbers and in terms of area-specific distribution of genuine games players. and then later, further on, obviously talks about devices and access to the types of games that they're playing. And it was huge. It's like, I've always known this. Obviously, we get 2023 numbers now. Before, it was always based off of 2022 numbers, and the pattern has continued and even broadened out in the direction of what 2022 was showing. And that is to say that, you know, a large portion of gaming revenue and the attention span that's being pushed into this gaming world, or this gaming industry, is coming from Southeast Asia. Now, none of us here as speakers are native to Southeast Asia. It kind of it genuinely shocked me, the difference in size. And Inhuman, I wanted to ask as well, from your experience in Web 2 and coming into the Web 3 industry itself, and ecosystems that you're taking part in right now. Like, is this information that genuinely shocks you? Is this, did you preempt this? Do you already understand this? And kind of, what are your thoughts on the industry at large, and how, you know, something like Ronin is developing and positioning themselves to kind of capitalize on what looks to be the right direction in terms of growth in a gaming industry?
I mean, I've been around both spaces again for like a very long time. Like Web 2, I was gaming disgusting hours for like a decade, you know, not something great to like brag about, but you know, Web 3, like 3 years, I've pretty much played like every game available in Web 3, but the past 3 months and seeing the growth, I know you said you don't like pixels, but to bring up pixels, the growth that pixels has shown in the numbers they're putting up are absolutely ridiculous. Like, I would have never guessed it.
Yeah.
It's genuinely insane. And that's why I'm thinking, like, if you're making a game and you need players and you need like revenue in any kind of like stream of movement of any kind in your game, you need to have it on Ronin. There's nowhere else to launch a game right now. You go anywhere else, like, it's developer ego to be like, oh, if my game is good, then people are going to play it no matter what chain it's on. That's not entirely true. You're going to like put yourself in a bottleneck regardless. Ronin has by far just a disgusting amount of everything that you could possibly want. It's like, why go anywhere else? Why do anything else?
Whoa,
yo, where's the massive multiplayer at? There's no.
Where is it at? Yeah, no, where is it at for real? Like, people are talking about Illumia. Yo, you triggered me on combos here, bro. I'm kind of gonna sideline most of the things we were talking about. But this is interesting, man, and we're here for interesting conversation. But big statements, facts. Like, I agree with you. Where else are you really gonna go? Is it developer ego to develop elsewhere? It's still not a proven concept. Like, it's not like definite that, oh, if you go make a game on a different chain, it ain't gonna work, right? Like, it's stupid and ignorant to kind of say that in this position of the industry. But as of like what we've seen of the industry for the last, you know, if we take half a year from this point, 6 months in the past, and you take the data of all these chains, and games that are actually have been active, like it, yeah, well, like you said, it makes no sense really to go anywhere else with what Ronin facilitates. Like, one of the things that came into my mind when you were talking was the pixels thing. So how much do you think that pixels is down to the incentives over the gameplay, or do you think it matches, or like what's your takes on that? And Luke and King Apollo, please chime in if you've got takes on that as well. I don't know if you've played Pixels yet or anything like that, but yeah, anyone that has a take, I'll start with you, Inhuman, and you guys raise your hands if you do have anything to chime in on that.
I personally love the concept of pixels. Do I think that the current state of the game is sustainable? No, but listening, I've been in every single AMA that they've hosted over the past like 4 or 5 months, and like just taking in all the information that they're saying. I think that their plans over the next 6 months are very bullish. And I think that there might be, you know, you have an airdrop, right? And that's going to bring in bad actors and inflated player numbers. But at the end of the day, there was people that were playing the game far before there was like an airdrop. There was just rumors of an airdrop. We didn't know when it was happening. We didn't know what was going on. And there's the community aspect of Pixels that no other game has right now. I actually had a meeting with a Web3 native org yesterday, and I was talking to them about how they can engage their community. And the first thing I thought of was Pixels, and how with islands, you can basically weaponize your community to do like contests, leaderboards, you know, like there's all this stuff. And then they're working on furthering the MMO aspect of the game. there's going to be so much engagement for players and communities in Pixels that no other Web3 project is even like thinking about right now, that I don't even think it's going to have like a huge player dip, honestly. It's just sustainable. Like the airdrop's going to go, people are going to get their Pixels. Some people are going to leave, sure. But I mean, who's to say that more people won't start playing whenever they see their friends playing it?
Yeah. It's like that social factor. It kind of ties. It's like a really well put together. I don't know why I'm gonna use this as a fucking analogy here. This is probably terrible, but it's like a really well knitted cardigan, bro. Like it fits. It's snug. You know. It's like who the fuck wears cardigans anyway? But like it works, right? If it's not like one thing, there's other elements to it that kind of tie it all together. I've said this since I came into this space in 2021. I was like, the game that will win will be a game that encompasses everything that Web3 is, right? I'll elaborate on that after Luke's take if needs be. But go ahead, Luke, man. I can see the hand up.
No, I think also cardigan metaphor. I like it a lot. Inhuman, yeah, I think exactly right. I mean, like this team are really smart. Like Luke and Heidi, Luke's their like founder, creator, and Heidi works on the team, and they do same doing these AMAs. Like they are thinking ahead a lot, and their whole kind of like white paper about it is to really go against the kind of speculation thing as much as possible. It will be difficult. Obviously, you're going to see spikes around like airdrop time, so I think it is naturally going to come down a little bit. But they've got so many amazing mechanics coming. Like their guild stuff's going to get really interesting. They're not afraid to kind of experiment and ship. So with the guilds coming, they're doing like basically a sort of friends tech thing if people followed that with guilds. So you're going to be able to kind of buy like tokens of the guilds, and the ones that are smaller are going to be cheaper. There's going to be like a bonding curve, so it's going to kind of balance out so that the money doesn't just rise to the top. It's really interesting. The economy is so fascinating because now, like with the airdrop, it's kind of like, and this is true of all games, I guess, but of watching a sort of little digital country come to life in that you can play the game in so many ways. So for the airdrop at the moment, the play to airdrop campaign, there's all these badges that you have to try and unlock, but obviously there's different strategies within that, and some people are ignoring all the badges and just looking at certain things that are spiking in price because people need them to complete the tasks, right? And this is just in-game economies, but not to get too specific, but one of the bottlenecks when you're playing is energy. You run out of energy when you're farming a lot. Butterbrew, which is one of the wines you can make, gives you a good amount of energy. So I saw one person write a thread, he's just farming and making butterbrew and then selling it because it's spiking at a premium because everybody wants it right now. So he's making a lot of berry token. He'll miss out on the airdrop, but there's an exchange price for the berry token. So he's just rinsing that. And it's like you can completely. It's the first real signs of like a true economy where you can play it in a lot of different ways. And then with the people always talk about the interoperability thing, which is like a big word, but there's loads, like even way before any of the airdrop stuff, there's the really interesting other side, like mission within or like set of mini quests within the game. So you can go and visit this like hut, and other side being Yuga Labs, Bored Ape, Yacht Club's land, and you can go and play this whole like side quest where all of the land numbers are tied to the other side NFTs, of which there's like 100,000 of them, which all have individual resources. So you can go and play this game, and all the resources match the NFTs that are the other side NFTs, and you can mine on those lands, which is at the minute more than Yuga have done with other sides at all, because they're building it,
it's funny, right? It's funny to say that, but like it is a huge addition to the experience itself, that like you're able to plug in entire IPs and kind of like incentivize and energize a crowd of people, a crowd of fans of an IP, and people who want to digitally represent themselves for being a fan of that, and to go into a game and actually go through fully fleshed out experiences. It's really cool, and we haven't even seen. I don't even think we've seen anywhere near, what is potentially capable in the future. And the Yuga's other side was the one that stuck out to me last year. Obviously, we got the Mochaverse happening right now. You've seen other games like Tribesters, which is a Ronin native game as well, incorporating themselves. and obviously the NFT avatars themselves as well. So there's a load of things that Pixels kind of ties in, not only from what comes within Insula, from what they're creating and the experiences they're presenting, but from utilizing these other IPs as well. And I think this is similar to something that we might see with games like Nifty Island and like Apollo said at the start of this. It's kind of like you can watch people who come first and kind of learn from not necessarily their mistakes all the time, but basically learn from what they've kind of set out in front of you. And like ultimately, the Web3 space might just be a compounding of these lessons and then iterations, and whoever can ship and iterate the best will be able to put these types of experiences on. And Pixels have just done that tremendously over the last year.
Just really quickly, and Paulo, I know you got your hand up. The only last thing I was going to say is that I feel like at the moment the only kind of game experience that could really do that is one of kind of Pixel's sort of style. Obviously, it being deliberately very simple and nostalgic, but browser based, so you can play it on any device anywhere. You don't have to have the wallet to sign in. You can kind of play the game with your email anywhere, and then it will sync it later and stuff. The way to have those like interoperable worlds is very, very difficult, obviously, with like an Unreal Engine fully fleshed out game at the moment. So for this cycle, I feel like it's really well positioned because it's so simple in its nature to do those things. But yeah, that's the last point.
Yeah, solid, man. Yeah, Apollo, see the hand up. Bring us something. Let's go.
Yeah, I just wanted to speak to the whole like play to airdrop situation. I feel like it's an amazing concept. It's just not executed or structured correctly. And
Okay.
I don't blame the games because it's new, right? It's something that really hasn't been done before. This is a new concept. I mean, we've had a few games do it so far, and like, not to name anybody, I don't like throwing people under the bus, but we've had a few play to airdrops or leaderboard situations where, things get a little wonky, right? People get in there and they're making all these accounts and stuff like that, and it kind of um, saturates the game in a bad way, right?
Yeah.
I feel and I feel like maybe in like 2 or 3 years they'll figure it out. Hopefully before then, right? I'm just being, it's tough. Like you're dealing with money, and people. We all know when it comes to money, people act weird, right? And they're gonna do whatever they can to get to it. So, just speaking on that, because like I'm a firm believer in it, but also a firm believer in like it has to be done right, and a lot of the times it's not done right.
Facts. Yeah, I mean, to be fair, like, I mean, this is a hard one. I'm gonna push it back on you, bro. Like, I know, like this gonna be a tough one, right? But arguably, what is right, right? Like, in your opinion, is there a right way to go about play to airdrop? Is it not play to airdrop? Is there a different method? Um, I wonder if any thoughts on that
I
front.
mean, and that's why I don't fault the games, because like I don't have the answers, right? It's really it's trying to figure out variables that aren't there yet, right? And the thing about it is like I have a brief background in programming, right? And like trying to figure out variables that aren't there before they're there is probably the toughest thing to do, right?
Yeah.
And a lot of them have to make moves on the fly. So it's like, I mean, maybe better planning could be a option, right? And I mean, just like extensively going over the variables that can happen and trying to get as many out the way as possible, and move forward from there. I don't feel like it's something that should be deaded, but I also feel like it's just something that should be regulated a little better, because I feel like, and we all know this, and it's could be a hot take or whatever, but games in this space are really based off who's making money or where the money is being made at, right? And that's just the simple fact of it right now, right? So if that's the case, and then people go over there, they genuinely like the game, right? And I've had this happen to me before, but it's oversaturated with all of this BS, right? It kills the actual love for the game and the love for the community for certain people. So I mean, I guess just better planning. Like, I don't know, man. Hopefully, I can figure out the way and I can sell it to all of them, right? But
Yeah, yeah. This is what I say. But same way with you. So where the checkout for real. But I get what you're saying as well, and like where my brain gets triggered when we have these types of conversations. Because like, don't get me wrong, bro. I spend every single day in this scene. As lazy as it might seem, and I don't really seem so present a lot of the time, and we ain't shipping content like crazy here and there. But like, I'm here every single day, and like, these are types of questions that I really try to hurdle most of the time, even if I'm just sitting in Twitch talking with chat myself, or if I'm back a house with tribally and we're having conversations, or just with friends. But my brain goes towards more of like the issue really is the fact that like you could have genuine interest in the game, loyal gamers, and that kind of needs to be cherished, so that when there are these incentives, yes, it's fucking sick that we can have incentives where you can play and get airdropped based off of your time and effort that you put into this game, and of course the love for that game should kind of be a weighted part of that equation. So for me, largely, like Pixels have done it in a way in this play to airdrop. There's actually the factor of your reputation actually gives you a multiplier on your score. So even if you're like an extractor and you've just come out of the blue and you min max and you even abuse the system and use a bot, there's going to be discrepancies on the fact that you don't actually have a reputational rank, the same as a player who's been playing since the middle of August 2023 and has built friends and is in a guild and has done a lot of stuff to raise their reputational rank. So there's things like that I think will develop and get better month on month, year on year within this industry, and Pixels utilizing it and noticing it from the whole bot talk that was in like the November period. And they moved on the fly and they came up with this system, which so far I think has served really well for more issues than one. So that's a factor.
Yeah.
I'm gonna pass it over to Finn in a second, but I also wanted to say this, that like Ronin as a whole, as a chain, kind of encompasses this with their approach. It's like a lot of the steps being made and the process in which Ronin is kind of undergoing actually is in facilitation for the players first. So the people that have been faithful, that have been around here for a while, that are genuine fans of, first and foremost, the original IP of Axie Infinity, and then how we've expanded outwardly from that. So the chain kind of really stems down to the games and the developers that get vetted and brought through onto as partners. It's mirrored, right? It's kind of shared, and an alignment kind of happens there. So I think Pixels has done so well because Luke, Heidi, and the team, they have that similar vision as what Ronin kind of encompasses. So it's
Yeah,
dope to
and
see.
I don't put it all on the games as well too. Like creators have a part in this. Not to throw any colleagues under the bus, but a lot of creators out here are creating viral clickbait content that almost promises people that they'll make a living off of gaming, right? And we all know from being in this space for a while, it's like few far in between, right? Like you might make a bag. More than likely, you're not, right? It's like day trading, right? Some people are going to get rich. Majority of you are going to fail, right? And it's as simple as that. And I feel like we go back to the whole trust thing and actually building proper rapport on yourself is being realistic with these, right? Like 100x and all that stuff, like that barely ever happens, right? So it's like all of this stuff that these creators are putting out as well also doesn't help, right, the situation. So I don't want to put it all on the games, but also the creators do have a part in this. And as creators, we have to kind of check ourselves and kind of watch how we're swaying. Because I've seen a tweet of mine sway a market, right? Like, and I'm not even that big of a creator, so I can only imagine somebody with hundreds of thousands of followers, right? So
yeah, for real. Now, I love that, bro. I love that you're not scared to converse on those levels as well, because it's a real thing, man. And we hold a lot of responsibility as individuals and as like creators in the space as well. And that largely is Web3, right? Like the weighted responsibility across the board, and it's not just the developers. And again, it's like a non-centralized approach to really how this thing kind of grows. So huge, bro. Love that. Big combos as we go. You know what it is? We are, we're moving today, bro. I'm feeling it, man. I knew we had a good panel. It is what it is. We got my sister TQ stepping up here as well. But I'm going to pass the puck to Finn as he just pulled through. Bro, Finn, I'm sorry, brother. I should have put you on the announcement yesterday. Bro came
what
through
did you
with
do to me, though? I made a tweet last night telling people to show up for the Ronin radio, not the Gila radio, co-hosted by the Ronin radio.
Oh, you missed the story at the start.
Like you led me astray.
All right, so we're going to break it down real quick, basically.
Yeah. Break it down.
Phone lost on the weekend, left in an Uber. Uber basically said, fuck you.
How late were you getting home for you to leave your phone in the Uber.
Actually, you know what? I could bring up the receipts right here. It was an early night for me. It was 1:30 a.m. That's early as shit.
An early night, 1:30 a.m.
That's crazy early. I'm gonna be real. It is what it is. Anyway, it was in the Uber.
But wait,
Brothers,
I'm not sure. You can't just like put that under the rug. What does a gilla do at 1:30 a.m.?
1:30 a.m. though, yo, we just getting started out here. But like, I was like, you know what? Tonight in the night, we got shit to do. You know, to come home. Preston came home. I don't know. I might let you into it a little more as the Ronin Radio progresses. It's got a little situationship going on right now. I know it's not probably what we need to talk about, but yo, that's the thing too. And yeah,
Hey, that's what we're here to talk about.
I was bringing my ass home. All right. Anyway, phone left in the Uber. Uber said, "Fuck you, bonk gang. We out this bitch." Took my phone. Then I got in contact with them 2 days later, where they said the driver said that he can't find it. Obviously. So I deactivated the phone, called the insurance. They gave me a replacement next day. I was like, yes. They give me the phone and no SIM. So I tried to log into my Twitter on the phone so I could host as normal. And it's behind the SMS wall that I don't have a SIM for. So here we are. And that's the story. Finn, bring you back up, bro.
No, it's a good story. Hey, you know what? It makes sense now. I was definitely confused a little bit. But, you know, we roll with the punches here. No, I like the conversation that was happening. I think like Apollo's my goat. I love that man so much. I can't wait to hang out soon. I think we're supposed to hang out tomorrow. Hopefully this or not tomorrow, this weekend. But you know, we've had storms and it's not been great. I've been a little under the weather, but yeah, I think like it's a really interesting conversation to talk about, like, you know, creators having sort of a similar responsibility when it comes to like the information that they're sharing. And I think something that we're pretty cognizant of at Ronin is like, what information do we provide to creators? How do we provide them the most accurate information so we don't run into situations where like the last thing you want to do is like have, you know, creators put forward incorrect information, right? You can't 100% prevent that. And you can never prevent people from making biased content. But if you provide the most like concrete source of truth, you know, you can help kind of steer creators in the right path and say like, hey, look, you can make really amazing content, you know, that can be truthful and doesn't have to get into the realm of where people go like, ooh, I don't like that person shills stuff because I know that this is their bag. You know, and there's ways to do it in the right way. So I think it's like a really important conversation. It's something like I've struggled with for a very long time, right? Like there's things that like I just don't tweet about anymore because I've learned that like it's not really worth it for me to tweet about, you know, something I hold when in reality, like, you know, there's like it affected things, right? Like people went and made a decision off of my tweets and I don't love that, right? Like I don't necessarily want people to take all of my tweets as like sage wisdom and advice, right? Like that's why I throw in a mix of like dumb stuff because I almost, you know, there's some aspects of, you know, I don't know. Maybe I'm rambling a little bit, but
no, I get you for real. It's like it's tough. Like I've had those moments where, you know, I make a post and in that moment for real, I feel like, you know, I've said the right things and there's an element of like the diligence hasn't been done because I read back through the post and I think, oh wait, I didn't talk about this element. I didn't talk about this factor. Maybe I misquoted this on what it actually is. And, you know, holding that responsibility.
And also like, it's also like you can usually identify it too. Cause it's like, there's often times where we see like narratives being pushed through, you know, the cabal or whatever it is. And you know, it's not true. Right. And so there's a little bit of an aspect where there's kind of a moment for people to kind of correct.
100% they think the cabal's true though. 100%.
Yeah. So I think it's an important conversation to have. And, you know, Jihoz has been doing a really awesome job putting together these creator toolkits where, you know, we can provide creators with the most accurate, up-to-date, concrete information on what we're doing so that we don't run into issues where people, you know, are just running with false narratives because, you know, they have a bias towards it, which I think it's just like, you know, it's a nature of the industry, right? We are in a speculative market. So there's always going to be a little bit of an interest for people to do that. But
yeah, I mean, you know, one of the tactics, I mean, especially within Ronin and obviously Axie itself as well. Like, I mean, yo, I'm candid as fuck, so it is what it is. But one of the like my tactics was to just kind of stay as close to what Jihoz was kind of doing and how Jihoz was moving at one point. Like that was my, you know, compass almost. It really helped me guide towards creating content that was one, obviously accurate, and it was impactful in that manner. And you put your own stint on it, you know, you put your own personality to the table as well. But like these are, I think, you know, the KOLs, as much as some people don't like KOL acknowledgement, but KOLs are really important for upcoming creators in the space as well. But yeah, I mean, on that note, we got Jihoz up on the speakers with us, so I'm gonna say welcome, bro. Appreciate you for being here. We're having conversations about creators, and we were in pixels, so I guess we can trickle back towards that conversation as well. And yeah, man, just let us know what's been going on in your world, and has the pixels grind been going down over there for you as well?
What up? What up? What up? Yeah, I mean, I have some land, right? So my understanding is, so I need to use this land. I'm getting 3,000 points per land, but I think I'll get like a booster if I have some reputation. I'm trying to like figure out how to link my Ronin wallet. I've already linked the wrong Ronin wallet to my ETH address or something like that. So I'm trying to figure out how to uh, to unlink it or something like that. So if anyone knows, feel free to hit me up about it. But yeah, I think you know what I said basically stands true. Is I think the Pixels play to airdrop is one of the largest opportunities that I've ever seen. Obviously, I don't have complete information, right? We don't know how much of the Pixel supply will be distributed via the airdrop, right? Because you don't want people to get too homo economicus about it, right? Like purely calculated, right? Like you want people to be playing for the love of the game, love of the community, with the airdrop as an added bonus,
Yeah.
a way to get added attention. But you know, my instinct is that this will be a huge opportunity for people, and you know, I think it was really important to shed some light on it. So I'm really excited about what Pixels has been doing. You know, earlier today, I actually used Pixels in Nix's thread about the games that changed my life or changed your life, because I think Pixels was one of the most important things to ever happen to the Axie and the Ronin communities. It showed that we weren't one hit wonders, right? It showed that we could seize the cycle, seize this cycle, and that we wouldn't be stagnant, that we wouldn't be resting on our past success, that all the haters and doubters were unequivocally wrong. So that, you know, that's why I believe that Pixels really changed my life, because it showed that the stuff that we've been doing, building in the bear, was actually the right path, and that we were on the right path. So that was really important to me. So yeah, shout out to Pixel, shout out to Luke and Heidi and the rest of the team on what they're doing. It's really amazing, and yeah, you know, I'm super excited. I have land. I've bought more land. I'm gonna figure out, you know, if I can leverage this land to get on the leaderboard. So
It's nah, man. It is an exciting period, and it's definitely got me incentivized to play. I'm fighting my ADHD right now, though, bro. Like I'm playing 2 different games at the same time whilst getting this pot
Me
belly
too.
wine.
Me too. I'm on my Origins grind, and I've got Pixels up.
Web3 is good. You know, ADHD is a superpower in Web3, because there is so much, you know, there's so much experimentation that's needed. So you need to be like kind of doing a bunch of stuff at the same time, almost trying a bunch of different things. That's literally right. I see ADHD and experimentation as almost kind of similar things. So
I don't want to link myself to Kanye West, but almost like when he was saying bipolar is his superpower. Almost, yeah, ADHD my superpower out here, bro.
there's a lot of there's a book called Touched by Fire, which talks about how like a lot of geniuses, right, have like ADHD or like Asperger's or like bipolar disorder and things like that. So things that make you unique also like allow you that maybe come with drawbacks, also come with superpowers attached to them. So.
Yeah, bro. Get this man a cake, bro. Let's go. But now I want to.
When it comes to creators, so I'm speaking as the original Web3 gaming creator. I am the original
Facts, yeah,
Web3
bro.
gaming creator. I remember streaming CryptoKitties in 2017 with Chuck Fresco. Cloud White, also very early Web3 gaming creator. Yeah, I mean, obviously it's interesting. One of the things that we found interesting that we discovered was, things that we talk about on stream, if we're talking about different cats, people would start buying those cats and breeding them, right? So
Yeah.
we're like, okay, wow, like we're actually providing like some interesting value to these ecosystems. We're helping to drive volume. That also comes with a responsibility, right? And people say like, yeah, how do you tweet so much without like ever or with while minimizing controversy, right?
We call it without shit in the bed.
Yeah. I mean, it's an acquired skill, and but I think it comes from a lot of experimentation, and sometimes you'll make mistakes. I think that's fine, as long as, right, like you're not doing anything malicious. I think the dangerous thing is when you're doing things out of malicious intent. So I think as long as you're trying to be as fact based as possible, and you're using qualifiers. That's why I always say, right, like, what is my famous line? It's like, if everything goes according to plan, right, based on current data, based on this, I may be I may be overlooking other things, but this is how I feel. This, right. So it's like important to either use facts, or for when you're when you're putting your opinions out there, which may be subjective, to also make sure that people understand that these are opinions and not facts. So.
But yeah. It's important to be able to. You have to take that step back of like, there's times where you can make your statement and it, you being yourself, voicing that opinion. But I think that's a skill in itself to be able to use that language and that terminology to kind of retract away from that. So I definitely see you using that a lot.
Another thing is sometimes you can say something repeatedly that is not true, but make it true by happening. And as long as that's not a malicious thing, right? It's like an aspirational thing, or a example of thinking something into existence, right? Manifestation, I guess, is the term for it. Those are also things, right? But it's like you want to be manifesting good things into the universe, of course.
Yeah.
Aspirational things that are motivational and inspiring, rather than things that could hurt people.
Right. Yeah, that's like more so displaying the substance of a man, almost, to me. It's like, yo, this person's been saying it, but like every time you see it, and it's just like a second of your day, and you think, yeah, and then like 3 days later, it's an even stronger, like there's more conviction around it, and then you get further into the future, like you said, it becomes real, and then you start to really respect the produce, or the ability of the person saying those things. So that's actually, that's something that I look for in this space as well. Like, people might hate on my, like, I'm gonna say it, bro. People might hate on Kagi, bro, but like Kagi says some crazy shit, but like then he'll make statements where is like, I'm gonna do this, and lo and behold, like that man, he really does kind of pull through and do that shit. So I mean, I'm pulling him out on my ass right now because I'm looking at YouTube, and the guy's been streaming all week and is live right now. So, but it is what it is. The guy's been on Pixel Grind. He wants a Lumia here, bro. Jihoz, I don't know what you think about that. Like, have you seen that Lumia game, the MMO? We want MMOs over here. I know that for real. So, I don't know if you've seen a Lumia.
Yeah, I saw it.
Okay, that's it.
This is an example of a situation where anything that I say could be misconstrued.
Yes, yeah.
So I'll just say that I saw it, and I think that MMOs are an interesting fit for this community, and especially
It has to be the right one, right? Though, like, I don't know.
To be honest, right? If something is like a AAA MMO that takes 8 years to build and hundreds of millions of dollars to build, right, then it's not going to be a good fit. To be honest, right? But it's like, what is the, what are MMOs that were, they're almost like RuneScape-esque, right? So.
Yeah. I think we have the building blocks, in my opinion, and I'm going to sway away from this conversation after that, because another time, another Ronin Radio, we'll probably get deeper. But I think we already have the foundational components of things that could eventually blossom into that game category. So I'm gonna shift the conversation over here, bring back our speakers into the mix as well. Wait, I'm gonna give TQ the floor for a little minute, just say hello and what's good, and any takes on the things that we've been talking about. I know authenticity is a huge topic for yourself over there, and any tips for our creators and people in the audience that might be thinking about becoming a creator right now.
I'm just saying, Gilla, you're killing it with Ronin Radio. Thanks so much for having this space and bringing us all together every week. It's always been amazing, and the talks and the topics have always been so relevant in the space. Shout out to Jihoz for supporting our recent TQA charity, by the way. We gave so much to our kids, and they just love the Axie stickers. Adventures of Juju and Boba, which are my Axies. They're not collectibles, they're not even mystics. I just put them on stickers and the kids like them. You know, this is the power of what it means to be a creator. And I love your topic in right now about accountability. That's so important. Because, yeah, sure, there are these creators that started during the OG times, but I'm a big, big believer of fresh blood coming in that are doing things right. At the end of the day, it's not how much you're doing it, but how good you're doing it, right? And so there's a different type of marketing when it comes to that. When it comes to the fresh blood, this kind of cabal thinking is kind of weird for a lot of them. And there's going to be real authentic creators out there who I think will even rise and be brighter, shine brighter, because they're coming in without the intent of monetization, with the priority of finding great games. And at the end of the day, no matter how good your tokenomics is, right? If the game is not fun to play, then who's going to play them? I guess degens or people who are, I don't know, those kind of gamers, right? For me, it's been a great journey, and so far the brands from the outside looking in are valuing creators that are embracing protecting their IP even more. People are forgetting that some of the loudest quote unquote influencers in the space don't even own their own IPs. So what happens if you glorify a creator who doesn't own their IP? It means they're reading off a script, their schedules are planned. Where is the story? Where, if not just an AI robot? I mean, that we can do that too. We can have AI. This is the next gameplay. It's awesome. Sign here to get a whitelist spot. Like that's anybody can do that. I want creators with stories, and I want creators coming out of nothing, finding magic in the space. And we need to protect those kind of creators. And so I love spaces like this, you know, drawing up these really, really hot topics that some creators are so afraid to talk about because they don't want to be held accountable. They're talking about tokenomics because they came from a tokenomic world. So how about we put the spotlight on actual gamers this time? And I think we are in a place where that is where the magic should happen. So I'm just saying, Gilla, you're killing it. These creators are killing it. Love King Apollo. We're gonna play Shrapnel real soon. And shout out to Luke, Jihoz, and Human Fin. Follow them, guys, and bell up. I'm so sorry. I'm like catching my breath because I got it.
I was gonna, nah, because it's powerful, baby. That's what it is. No.
Hey,
Let's go, TQ. We love it. I shout out to you, man, every time. I was, if you're on the stream as well, catching the visuals on that end, you saw I was kind of wilding at that moment. But no, it's love every time, and being able to, you know, get to know TQ and really, you know, have these types of conversations where we do games nights every week with Tribally, as of the last few weeks, and sometimes we sit there for like 4 to 5 hours just kind of conversing about the space and with players who are coming through and playing these games with us as well. But yeah, finding out more and more about TQ and her passion for the authenticity it is inspiring. So I'd love to be able to bring you up at any point. Shout out to you. We got space tomorrow though. All right, you can see that tweet from Tribally. Go ahead and pin up on that, and yeah, man, we gonna catch you there tomorrow. But I'm gonna bring the speakers back. Bring them back because Luke, man, we gotta link up as well. I know you said you come into Brum at some point. We're gonna definitely link up. So like, how long have you known about Ronin? Because the next agenda, one of the topics I wanted to talk about with you guys, especially being, like I said at the beginning, not like Ronin creators. So you guys aren't on like the Ronin creator program. So that's kind of how I gauge that ideology around not being Ronin creators, but ultimately anybody is a Ronin creator who's talking about Ronin. So how recently did you come across the chain itself, the things that were going on here, and like present perception on the chain, and has that really changed over the past few months, which for me arguably have been the most transitory in my time being here?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I've been lurking for a while since the Ronin chain came out. Really, I'm watching Axie and everything that happened last cycle, and yeah, but it was Pixels that really brought me in. Just because as soon as I started it, I was like, we were talking before, this browser-based, accessible game that you can pick up anywhere and play anywhere, and was really fun and cozy and chill. And Luke and Heidi are awesome, and we've spoken about that quite a lot in this space. But I was like, okay, this feels real. And then watching it come to Ronin, I was like, okay, yeah, this, you get the sense of it. So that's when I really started to switch on again. And then just, yeah, I mean, watching the Ronin numbers tick over was crazy. Watching daily active users on Pixels was crazy. And the beginning of the kind of network effects. And that's, what happens in this spaces as multiple projects and communities come together. We talked about kind of the other sides, sort of set of mini quests within Pixels. I was like, okay, this is really working, which is crazy. I don't know if anyone saw, I think Jihoz and Xiaoqi, thank you for supporting some of my tweets recently as well about Ronin and stuff. But Bankless have just put out in the a really cool and like big section on Ronin, which is, I think,
I'll share that if you got it there for you.
Yeah, it's and Bankless, I'm sure people know, but yeah, they have a massive podcast in the space, and yeah, write a lot of research reports, and Ronin is right bang at the top of the newsletter. So it's yeah, really starting to break through with attention, and it's very exciting. I think it's yeah, it's awesome to see. So yeah, for me to come in, I'm just happy to be here. Massive, like, such a happy welcome as well. Community's been awesome. Gilla killing it as well, and yeah, I'm very happy to be here. So I'm excited just to pump out awesome content every day. Ready? Let's go.
Let's get it, man. Jihoz, I saw you're muted. You wanted to add something on there?
I just wanted to say welcome to Luke Franks. Yeah, I saw that you had put out a really comprehensive and good post. And, my instinct, my reflex is whenever I see a new a creator that, who hasn't been on my radar covering Ronin aligned content, my first instinct is to share it, to reach out, to make that connection, to make them feel valued and understand the power of this community. So welcome, and good call, Gila, on inviting Luke to join us today.
Thank you, appreciate that. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, me and Luke, it kind of clicks. When it clicks, it clicks. So we definitely gonna run up some stuff over the course of the next few months and into the future, man. Hopefully we build something solid there. But yeah, a big fan. Like I said, read through that thread. It was really well put together, and then checked out a lot of your other stuff. Space last week was really fun to be on as well, and meeting some of your connections in this space as well was huge. Shout out to Rob. What a guy. We had a good space last week, so hopefully we'll see some more of those in the future. But yeah, I guess we'll pass the pot. We'll go ahead with Apollo, bro. I don't know. Like, are you
got
playing
the most green one, right?
that, bro? I'm dishing out it because I don't know, right? We getting to know you guys today. That's the whole ethos of the show. And like, does any Ronin game stand out to you right now?
Okay, I can tell you this. Finn suggested
Wild Forest. I know he has suggested Wild Forest. He fucking loves that game. It is addictive as hell.
Finn
it is addictive as hell.
That game to me for a while, and I actually went and checked it out, and I was planning on doing playing some of it this week if I could. And that, and also Pixels as well with the craze. I got to see what the craze is about. I got to go in. I'm not really for the airdrops. Like, I really want to go in and see how the game is. Like, I'm one of the creators who don't even buy tokens. Like, I won't even buy, just so like if people come like, oh, you're scamming, like I don't even have any, so I don't know how I scammed you. I'm broke too. So, but been paying attention for a while. Like I said, I've been in the game. I've been in around this space since 2020. I've watched the whole Axie surge. Once I started paying attention to it, it was a little oversaturated at the point, right? And so I kind of like fell back a bit. But recently, like Ron been making waves. There's no way you can't know about what's going on if you're in the space, and if you are, then you're just like not looking at Twitter at all. Like you don't have vision. So like I've really been adamant on like trying to play new games, and Ronin's one of the networks that I'm like really adamant about getting into some new games. I'm starting with Wild Force. I was supposed to, like Finn said, we're supposed to hang out, and I was going to literally ask him like, all right, tell me all the Ronin games I need to go play, and I was going to try to make some content around it. But I really like what's going on here. The sense of community is insane. You guys have built something really beautiful here. I mean, anytime I see anybody post about anything Ronin, it's a huge support and love. So like, I'm just really interested in finding out like what's the best game. I know what Finn's gonna tell me, right? But I'm just interested in finding some good games and really like finding something that I can cling to in the network. To be honest.
Facts.
All right. Here's the deal, then, Apollo. My parents are in town this weekend, and then they're gone. So next week we're gonna get dinner, and I'll walk you through all the Ronin games. I'll show you everything.
Let's do it.
Yeah, set it up, bro. This one's saying stronger together is what it is.
Pay for that dinner.
Ooh.
All right.
Ooh.
I mean, like we were gonna get something. We're gonna get something fun anyway. I got a place in mind.
You got a place in mind? Okay. I'm about to say I have one too. I have a few spots, but you've been here a little bit, so you probably find a few you like already.
Yeah, we got some good spots, and then Jiho will take it up. We'll take you up on the offer.
Do people know where Finn lives, or like is that a?
Yeah. Sorry, okay. I'm fully doxxed. I live in North Carolina, Raleigh, North Carolina.
Shout out to High Point, shout out to Greensboro.
I actually really love North Carolina. That's kind of why I wanted to bring it up. I love. I've been to. So I used to go to Myrtle Beach at the end of every school year. That was kind of a tradition at my university. One year, my brake pad wore out. Almost died actually. In Chapel Hill, like where Duke is.
Yeah, it's like 15 minutes from me.
So I went. So I went there. Like I stayed at the fraternity house. I'm a Sigma Chi actually. I'm a fraternity brother, and so we stayed. You know, the cool thing about being in a fraternity is you can literally like go show up at their doorstep and they will let you in. So slept at the Sigma Chi fraternity house for a couple of days while we were getting our car fixed. I had like some chicken and waffles. You go
to Dame's?
Scenery there. I think so.
Dame's is
Dame's is like.
Well, if he's in Chapel Hill, I don't think Dame's is in Durham and Raleigh. I don't know.
It's Durham. It's close though.
Durham. Yeah. It might not have been in.
If you drove like 10 minutes out, it was probably Dame's. Dame's is the best chicken and waffles out here. 1,000%.
Facts. Well, I'm a cookout guy, but you know what it is. We go
cookout guy too. Don't worry.
Cookout is king here.
Cookouts. When the Pudgy Gaming guys came to visit, one of the first meals I took them to was cookout, and they were blown away.
How much food doesn't get addicted to cookout?
No,
because are you guys UNC fans or what?
No, I'm actually a UConn fan, which sucks. I went to high school.
Oh, what?
So I dealt with it hard. UNC and state fans is terrible.
Kemba Walker.
Yeah, that's dope.
I went to college in New Haven. It's like impolite to say that you went to college in New Haven. I went to Yale University in New Haven. So that's kind of like, knew a lot of people who were, UConn fans around there.
Yeah. I spent a lot of time up in Hartford for sure.
Yeah, man, there's something about North Carolina, man. It's a spot. I was a magnet towards there as well. I ended up spending 4 years there, so it's one of them weird ones. But
because we got Apple and Epic Games now.
Oh, is that what's in North Carolina now?
Everything. We have everything here.
Yeah, Apple's spending like $1.8 billion on a new headquarters here.
I guess it's like East Coast hub, really, right?
It's the East Coast Silicon Valley where we live, basically.
Yeah, we're called the Tech Triangle, is what they call it. But there's a lot of gaming being built around here, which is super cool to see. A lot of cool stuff moving in.
Damn, I'm gonna take a visit, bro. I didn't even know.
Come visit. I've got a couple people. Look at this, Gila. My offer. I've got a spare bedroom. It's yours if you want to come visit. We'll take you around. We'll hang out with everyone. There's a bunch of Web3 people here.
Yeah, bro. I'm gonna have to take you up, bro, because next year is me. Yeah, next year is mostly traveling, bro. Obviously, Southeast Asia's on the list first. There's a lot of stuff going on that side, but yeah, I went to High Point University, so I got a lot of university friends that are in NC still that I haven't seen for like almost coming up 4.5 years
You
now
went to High
itself.
Point,
So
bro?
yeah, bro.
What I don't know if you want to dox your age, but what years? You probably know some of my homies.
Yeah, bro. Started 2017, 2018.
Oh, okay, yeah, I'm a little older then. Dang, I doxed myself.
You're
Yeah.
young.
Yeah, bro, young blood out here. But nah, I had no clue what the school was. It was I got a athletic scholarship for soccer, and I had no idea what I was walking into. So it was just a fucking wild time. But yeah, man, it's dope to find this stuff out about people as well. But yeah, like I'm gonna take you up on that, Finn. We definitely gonna pull up, and it's been a while since I touched down in Greensboro and Durham and even Charlotte as well. So that's nice. We're gonna get that done. I appreciate you though, man. It's been a good convo today, man. I gotta cut it short though. We gotta go an hour and a half because I got responsibilities to take care of later on into the night. But I'm still gonna push on some of the agendas. We got 8 minutes left. I'm gonna push it until the breaks come off, until like Jiho's brake pads break. Like we gonna keep it moving. So we're gonna keep it locked down. I guess like we spoke about the true view on the community. Most of the takes is all about how you actually can recognize real community here, which I think stands out and is stark in this space as well. It's difficult to actually form that, and I think Web3 can be built upon that. That's kind of what Web3 is enhanced by, is actually the true foundations of community. But I think really and truly, now that it's getting to the point where people are realizing that, how have you guys found routes and channels to kind of come in? Is it genuinely an easy process for you to now consider, what, like, I feel like I'll get that love from Ronin, and are you like encouraged to now start making content even from this space, like right out the gates from this space? Apollo, you go for a meal with Finn, you get told some games, like, is it now like, yo, you know what, I'm a double down and get active with Ronin and content on that front? And same with you, Inhuman. Is it something that you want to do coming from the player side of things? Like, do you get incentivized by the reciprocation in this community to make content for it as well?
1,000%. I feel like we put out content, and I mean, not in like a vain way, but you want it to be seen, right? Um, the ultimate way for it to actually be seen is to be seen by the actual IP or company or project you're doing it about, right? And to get the actual recognition that you made good content. So I mean, that's like an affirmation for us that we're doing the right thing. So when I see companies or any games actively reaching out or actively promoting people making content around that stuff, it does make me want to come in, because it just shows like you guys actually respect creators. And I'm a firm believer of like these games need creators just as much as we need the games. And just as well as a Ninja or these guys could take a Among Us or simple games like that and take them to the top, to where they're like a top game and they're like these really small built out independent games. The same thing can happen here. And I feel like it's essential for the games to do that. And when they show that, I'm all for it, right? Not saying that just any game shows me love, I'm going to go do a thing on their a project on their a video on their project. It has to actually be good too, right? Like, and that's my thing. But it does incentivize me a little more. It makes me want to do more content when I actually feel like the content is being perceived and actually supported by the actual company. So that's my short take on it.
I'm gonna say this though before we switch up to Inhuman, bro. Like, I said it at the start of the space, but like, I'm a fan of the. It's more like an energy that you bring to the content, and like the in real life stuff as well, bangs as well. And like, as a personality, I think you'll be embraced in this community. So I'd love to see that. We'll see what happens over the next few weeks. Another thing as well is I'm doing the play to airdrop grind right now, so there's 10 days still to go. I'm streaming for 2 hours bare minimum every single day until the end of the airdrop. So if at any point over the next 10 days you want to at least get your feet wet in what Pixels is, we can link up. You can come through to the stream. We'll do a co-stream, and you get your first impressions on live on the Twitch if you want to run that.
Let's set it up, dude. Let's do it.
Word. Inhuman though, I know you're actually probably the most the highest on the leaderboard right now with the play to airdrop. That's going to be my hot take on the situation right now.
Brother, not even close.
You know,
it's competitive, man. It's very competitive. I love it. I get like an hour off and I come back and like I'm already passed up in like different parts of the leaderboard, and like I'm trying to game it and think, you know, what do I want to target and like what do I want to pursue, and like I want to get all of it, you know. So I keep putting in more and more berry to keep getting energy because I keep running out of energy. I've been playing Pixels probably like 8 hours a day for the past like 4 days, and before that I was already playing for like 3 months since, you know, I came to Ronin. So no dice for me being top on the leaderboards, but you know, I'm trying my best to keep up with everybody right now.
Well, facts. Well, this Thursday we're actually bringing through. I've spoken to at the moment 3 different guild managers in Pixels guilds. Some really, you know, them motherfuckers is up there. One guy who's actually from the UK as well. I've spoken with him. He's actually been meaning to come on the show for about a month now. His name's Vard. He was in like the top 10 back in the last week. But yeah, a lot of experience going to come through on Thursday. So if you guys are looking to check out what is going down on Pixels, a bit of min-maxing, a bit of finding some more stuff out, Thursdays is going to be one of those episodes for you to pull up to for sure. But Inhuman, bro, like a solo player, or you got a crew that you're playing with?
Yeah, so I actually have a group I'm playing with. We played another game. Forgotten Runes Wizard Cult had a game came out called Runiverse, and I grinded it really hard, and I met some cool people in the community, and we started a little group together. And then we saw Pixels and like how like sick the community building was for the game, and we're like, we're gonna play that together. And so there's been probably about 30 of us that have all been grinding it together, like every single day, like sharing information between each other and stuff.
Plans on making a guild?
Oh yeah, we made a guild immediately. As soon as that dropped, I was putting in berries and making it. I was probably one of the first 5 people who like made a guild. I was camping out the guild website for it. So
let's go. Yeah, Inhuman, you a real one out here. I know you are bullish as fuck on Pixels. I guess the last thing I will ask.
I'm bullish on Ronin. I love like every game on Ronin. Like I play all of them right now. And like anytime like a Web 2 friend comes to me and he's like, yo, like, you know, I know you do Web 3 games. Like, what's the first game I should play? I say Axis like every time. It's the best game to introduce people to.
Yeah, he knows the code, but yeah, that Origins is obviously getting a lot more spicy. I see a lot more people evolving Axes now. I'm seeing Asir, one of my good friends, he's got like 4 evolutions on his team now in the comp. Like it really is there, and I'm feeling the progressive grind as well, the sweat equity that's required, and I'm enjoying that aspect. My sweat equity has turned into a team that is not, you know, it's not min-maxed. It shouldn't really be where it is in a leaderboard, and I'm able to climb higher because of that. And yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on in Origins, and of course we had classic leaks. We're getting classic leaks today. I think they've dropped. Shout out to Pos2, been working real hard with the team on getting classics back into the forefront. Really exciting times ahead for that. And also one thing I noticed on Origins today was under the level up there was like this little icon. I don't know if you've seen it yet. If you're on your AXP grind today, go and check it out. It looks like a little bottle, but you know, I'm inclined to feel a certain type of way when that bottle has pink accents. Won't say any more on it. We'll probably get some answers later down the line because it says coming soon. But yeah, there's a lot of stuff to do. Inhuman, you sound like the perfect person to be onboarding people right now with that much experience. So content in the future?
Absolutely. Yeah. My big thing right now is I want to be able to play games for like disgusting hours every day. And there isn't quite anything yet that I feel like I could play comfortably for that period of time, which is why I was talking about MMOs earlier. I really want to be able to play like an MMO on Ronin for 15 hours a day. And I'll stream it, I'll post content, like everything. Like I just want to be able to wake up every day and be like, I'm going to play this game my entire day. And then I'm going to go to sleep and I'm going to wake up and I'm going to do it again and just keep doing that.
He's a true grinder, bro. Inhuman, I'd suggest if you haven't already, defo hit up and get in touch with Hantao or EduMark, anyone that's really involved in a creator program, and we'll bring you in, bro. Because it sounds like you were a streamer right in the Web 2 world.
This kid has potential. This kid has potential.
I was streaming off and on. I moved across the country 2 years ago, and I had to leave my setup behind, so I kind of fell behind numbers wise, like streaming and stuff like that. So like pretty much coming back into it, I'm mainly focusing on Web3 stuff because nothing Web2 is interesting me anymore. Right. So I'm basically starting like with a blank slate.
Bro, I knew Inhuman was going to be a W Low-key, after I saw his PFP. Anyway, we need to make that an axis soon. Not safe for work. But yeah, we get that.
Definitely need to replace this. I really do need to come up with something real for that.
Bro, put in the chat right now if you think Inhumans PFP is a W, just at it Inhuman and just put a W, bro. Like just let him know. All right. Yeah, I'm about to cut and dust right on out of here. This has been another Ronin Radio episode. Tuesdays are fun day. Like I said, we try to get external. I'm gonna bring through as many guests as I can. You know what it is. I had a fucking great time. It was great to meet you, Apollo and Inhuman. Luke had to run. Luke actually gave us 20 minutes extra as well, so shout out to him. But yeah, amazing speakers. Big shout out to Finn for getting us kickstarted on the algorithms, gave us some love, and huge shout out to Jihoz for coming through as always. TQ, the power statements were real as well. Much love. Any final words, Jihoz?
Announcement also, like I have joined the Reptile Gang. With Gila.
Yes, sir.
The reptile. My PFP, I actually just recropped it to make it bigger. I'm not sure if I like this crop so much. I'm not sure if it should be. So I have like the tip of my tail and the tip of my pagona, a little bit touching.
Yeah, I'm oh so close.
I'm thinking about it. I'm thinking about whether I should recrop or whether this is optimal. But anyways.
Hey, I'm not gonna dictate, bro, but like purple or light blue background over green.
Light blue.
Purple, is that there seems bias behind the purple?
So I always go with like color theory and the color wheel. I always look up like on color theory what is the opposite color. Okay. So I looked up like what the opposite color of purple was, and it was like light green. But
it does make it pop, but like you see me, I've got like this fascination for gecko eyes, even though the evolution kind of like.
So so I actually like when I was with Masamune, like the last time I was with Masamune, I was like, yo, what is your like philosophy on like what we should put as the background color on our axes? He said like to go for like the craziest and highest contrast.
Okay. Hey, yo, if Masamune said that shit, then there's some substance for real. But now I fuck with it. Part of the you've always been a reptile gang, bro. Though, like Jihoz, come on, bro.
Yeah. Joe for sure.
Always been out there. But yeah, that's all we got time for, family. Listen, it's a fucking great time every single Tuesday and Thursday. If you pull up, you pull up. You know what it is. We're gonna do better on the marketing front. I promise you that. I've been bullshitting over Christmas. I'm an arsehole. Yes, thank you so much. It's 2024. New breed of reptile. Cut off my tail. Wool geckoed it back. We in the Ronin gym. We making shit happen. Pixels play to air drop every single day on Twitch as well right now. So if you want to come ask me some questions, come hang out, come chill. You know where it is. Twitch at Gila Seas. And yeah, go and make sure you follow all the speakers that were up here today. Luke's post is up there on the featured post, so you can go back and check that. Inhuman and Apollo are here as well, and I'm sure you're going to see them in your faces over the next few weeks as well. And of course, TQ, make sure you're following her. If you went following Finn and Jihoz, then I'm kind of questioning what the fuck is going on.
Please don't follow me because it feeds my ego.
Please don't feed his ego.
Please don't feed my ego. It's not good. I tweeted about Shrek this afternoon. That's like,
bro, no. But the thing is, I'm so sorry. Feed this fucker's ego, bro. I need more tweets like that. I fucking need it. I need it. Bro literally said Shrek 2 goes so hard unnecessarily, bro. And I've thought about it. It actually does, bro. It fucking does. It really does. That's hilarious.
Here's how my Twitter works, and here's the strategy for everyone. Tweet the silly things, because life's too short to be obscenely serious on Twitter. So I will tweet anything and everything that comes into my mind. And I was thinking about Shrek. So that's what I tweeted about. I was watching Shrek last night,
Bro, no,
the soundtrack.
Shrek 2 is actually the coldest.
I have like controversial opinions on. Well, why are we extending? Like, don't do this. But I have controversial opinions on Shrek.
This is the man.
Bro, Shrek has an actual con. Like, there's a Shrek con, bro. Are you kidding me? That guy is fucking killing it.
Me and Jeff get along on a lot of things, except for one. Now, one thing I knew of, which was he doesn't like cats, and I love cats. But now I feel like there's going to be a second level of beef. But go ahead, Jeff. Go ahead.
So my understanding is that Shrek was made by DreamWorks, right? And I'm a Pixar's boy. You know, DreamWorks was started as like a beef against Steve Jobs, right? Basically, like these people who hated Steve Jobs broke off from Pixar to go make like DreamWorks. That's why like they both released like right there was Ants and A Bug's Life released in the same year, and apparently like DreamWorks stole the idea of ants from Pixar. Right? It's like why would two animated movies about insects both right using 3D imagery both come out in the same year when like literally no movies about insects had ever been made before. So I'm kind of like, so like basically the guy was really salty and like hated Steve Jobs and like they got dominated with ants versus A Bug's Life. But then it was like, oh, he made Shrek and then he like became a success. I forget this guy's name. But and then like like he like kind of became happier with life and like dropped his beef with Steve Jobs after he made Shrek. Anyways, so I'm like I feel like by supporting by basically being like I have issues with Shrek, it's like that's my way of supporting Steve Jobs, who you know is one of my heroes. So.
Well, Shrek is love, Shrek is life, and on that note, see you on Thursday. Peace. Oh my goodness, bro. That is funny as fuck, bro. Finn is correct. Shrek 2 went so hard for no reason. The chat box is, yeah, I'm a fucking idiot. I forgot to turn it off before this. Hey, yo! Chuck Fresco in the building, though. Listen, lads, I actually have shit to do. I'm now 7 minutes late. Don't mind, because it was a fucking great Ronin radio, even though a lot of problems at the start. But yeah, it is what it is. Shout out to Inhuman, shout out to Apollo for sure, and huge shout out to Luke Frank. And bro, it's gonna get spicy, man. Every single Tuesday, I'm gonna start inviting creators from all over the place. We're gonna have conversations, we're gonna break it down. It's gonna be a bit more fun. The Tuesday is a bit more relaxed, a bit more fun, and then Thursdays we get like real down to the nitty gritties. Ronin's moving. You know, there's things we didn't talk about today in terms of like Mavis Store, the recent partnership that happened today. With I can't remember the fucking name of it right now. What's it called? Pre-sale? There's something like, yeah, pre-sale. So like there's stuff that's going on in Ronin that we could be talking about, but it is what it is. But yeah, man. Yo, I mean, Inhuman, bro. Jihoz was saying this kid right here. I don't think you're a kid, by the way, but this guy right here, potential. So you know, a lot of stuff to step up. And yo, opportunity, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm old, bro. Ain't none of us old, bro. The spirit is young. Do your damn thing. But yeah, man, a lot of opportunity for you out here, and I'm more than happy to kind of work closely with you and introduce you to the right peoples. But 100% chase that up, get involved with the creator program, and hopefully I'll see you in that Discord really damn soon, son, because you should be there. That is for sure. And yeah, man, continue enjoying playing these games. Continue turning up to the Ronin Radio, fam. I appreciate you guys that come through. It is what it is. Like I said, we were very patchwork today. But we made it work. We made it work, right? That's what you got. You just got to make shit work, fam. All right? Degeneracy is over and out. Thank you again for tuning into the Ronin Radio. I'll catch you tomorrow where we pull up for the play to airdrop stream. Again, it's going to be a little later in the day, so I'm sorry, my Filipino fam, my Southeast Asia fam. Unfortunately, it is going to be beginning around maybe 6-7 p.m., which is around this time. So I mean, if you're up still at this time, you're like, yo, I'm chilling for the next hour or so, you'll be able to catch us. But mainly, you know, East Coast, my European motherfuckers in the building. It's gonna be a stream for you tomorrow. But yeah, we're gonna do 2 hours bare minimum. I'm actually kind of getting into the gist of things now. I just did that potberry wine task. Ooh, I just leveled the fuck up, bro. Yo, Berlin coming through with the subs, man. Yo, Berlin is a big supporter of always. I think Berlin was like my last subscriber. I just fucking died, bro. Berlin! Let's go! Berlin, let's go. I appreciate you, brother. And yo, you know what? That's so sick because the people that are here. Jihoz is talking to me, bro. Shrek is love, Shrek is life. Jihoz is talking to me. What the fuck? Jihoz, chill. Bro, the people that are here right now, yeah, are real ones. So all of you like that are here right now just got gifted a sub. That's fucking crazy. I appreciate you, Berlin. You know what it is. Hey, yo, and Berlin is building. Do not think that Berlin has been quiet for no fucking reason. I'm sure things will come to light pretty soon. And to be fair, Berlin, I need to hit you up, man. We need to get back in contact and see in any way possible, you know, I can help with everything that may be or may not be coming in the future. But yeah, again, shout out to all you guys that pull up and chill with us on Ronin Radios. We'll be back tomorrow to play the Play to Airdrop. Apollo, much love, bro. Actually, I'm glad you were there. It fit right in, bro. Sometimes it just, like I said, it just works. We'll set something up on the Play to Airdrop. We'll pick a day and yeah, we'll run it up for sure. But on that note, fam, I gotta go do some damn shit right now. And I gotta sort this shit phone, bro. Can't believe they sent me a replacement phone, yeah, with no SIM. Like, the fuck? Anyway, listen, I am, you know, I'm going to play you one tune, right? Today we were playing only Gila beats only on stream, right? So beats that Gila made, right? Me and DJ were in the studio. We cooked shit up, right? So I'm going to play you one little outro tune, right? And then we gonna get out of there. But yeah, man, I appreciate you. Like I said, every single time. This one, bro, we were playing 7 Deadly Sins on a mobile phone a year or so back, right? This one was made from sampling that game specifically. I hope you enjoy it. We're going to leave it for the outro. And yeah, man. Yo, it's always a good time when you're here with the Ronin Radio. Enjoy the tunes. And I'm going to catch you lot tomorrow. I fucking love ya. Tomorrow. All right, I'm gone. For real. Peace. Enjoy the tunes. Much love. Much love. Oh, you thought that shit was it? Nah, enjoy. Shout out to the cat.
Around, but I didn't, 'cause I'm a fucking idiot.
Yes, this is a Gila beat. Yes, this is the Ronin community members singing right now. We got real creative in 2023. I'm excited for 2024. Enjoy the music. This is the last tune we're gonna play before we lock everything off. Go and have a prosperous week. Do what you need to do. And buy more Ron because it's like under $1.70 right now, and no financial advice. Fuck you. Let's go.
Must be nice to be cloud white, flying falcon or cocoa bear. Every time I lock my wallet, moment of despair is headed for the moon, and I'm so doomed and unprepared. Totally missed out, only one around that's not a future millionaire. Should've bought more rhyme, but I didn't, cause I'm a fucking idiot. Instead I bought a bomb, so I guess I'll smoke myself into oblivion. Tokens moving strong above the dollar, but will it ever dip again? Told everyone in the mom the FOMO wins, so I'm just another hypocrite. Should've bought more rhyme, but I didn't, cause I'm a fucking idiot. Should've bought more rhyme. Must be nice to be cloud white, flying falcon or cocoa bear. Every time I lock my wallet, moment of despair is headed for the moon, and I'm so doomed and unprepared. Totally missed out, only one around that's not a future millionaire. Should've bought more rhyme, but I didn't, cause I'm a fucking idiot.